are live. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Creative Elise, high vibing in from Long Beach, California. Wow. Today is a spectacular day. It is an awesome day for Alive. And my topic for today is the high vibe dog, unlocking the secrets to a vibrant, healthy pup. And I'm doing an actual live event this weekend, and I'm going to give you a little taste of the content right now, and then we're going to go into it. But first, I always talk, and I'm learning that not everybody knows who I am. So I think I'd figure out I'd give you a little heads up on who I am and why I'm so passionate about this topic. I have had dogs all my life. And I never quite knew, just assumed that they died at a young age. They'd get sick at the vet, one thing after another. And most of the pets died of a form of cancer and I just thought they got it. I didn't know any better. And I learned that was not the case in my pups. I had a black chow. He was amazing. And we moved to California. And when we were living in Northern California, he got really ill. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And I was told he was allergic to the environment. That's an odd thing. And they gave me a load of nonsense. And they sent me to the veterinary school up there. And I proceeded to do what they said and filled his body full of poison, a variety of different types of steroids and a number of other things to combat this problem. All it did was make him sicker, and he got worse. And I took him out of it, and I moved him back to Missouri, to my mother at the time, lived in Florida, and he seemed to get better. He's outside a lot. He had a backyard, all these things. And then when I moved to Southern California, because I thought it was the location, I brought him back. And he seemed to start getting the problem again. Still didn't understand what it was. Then he got sicker. And then he got cancer. And when this started happening, I started taking him to a holistic place. And I started learning more about it and found out that it was the products that I was using. And I had learned the food and all of these things. And the vet caused it with all the poison that they'd given him. And so I started cleaning out his body and got a little bit better. But ultimately, he had a tumor and they didn't get it all. And then it spread everywhere. And at the age of 8.5 years old, I had to put him down because he couldn't breathe. And he didn't want to be that way. And then it was quite some time had passed, and I got a pup in the meantime. She was born with a heart condition and didn't live very long at all. Lived 1.5 years. And I learned then that I had already started her on raw food, and everybody was surprised that she even lived that long. But it was because the food I was giving her and how I had shifted my mindset around it. And then she died of a heart attack at 1.5 years. And then a long time passed. And then in 2010, I got my girl, which was born in 2010. I got her in the beginning of 2011. And I said, that's it. And I started slowly cleaning everything out. I started looking at a little bit deeper into things. And fast forward, we really went non-toxic. She was on a raw diet. I watched everything she ate, the treats, everything. I cleaned out the entire house of all toxins and everything. And she was healthy. She had no graying. We took the same supplements even. She was no graying, no problems, no nothing. And even when there was a cancer scare, the tumor was on the outside because we are around toxins outside. And I didn't know how to actually get those that her body just absorbs from nature out of her until after that happened. We got rid of the cancer. And I used holistic methods to alleviate every symptom of it, every sign of it, everything out of her body, and then was able to clean it out. And then she unfortunately transitioned 1.5 years ago in June. Got a clean bill of health, and boom, And since then, before then and since then, I've been an adamant advocate for non-toxic living. What we give our animals, what we do, affects them. And that's whether it's positively or negatively. And that's up to us. They trust us to give them the best food, the best care possible. And I'm going to say this, and it may not be something you want to hear, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you can't afford to give your animal solid, good care, good food, not grocery store food, clean your house with non-toxic products, and be conscious of every single thing that you do in their daily care maintenance, in the maintenance, then don't get a dog. I said it, don't get a dog, because it's only going to cause them pain and misery during the process, and it's going to cause you a lot of pain and misery when they transition of cancer or have long-term health issues that you have to go to the vet for or can't afford to, and they get sick and you have to put them down. There's no need for that. But there are solutions out there, and things are just so toxic on our planet. We've got to do something in our own space, and it starts with caring for ourselves and our dogs and our pets, all pets, holistically. And I learned that cats are 23 more times more toxic than we are. Dogs are 3 times more toxic than we are. Why is that? Cats, because they're in the house 90% of the time or all the time. So they're around all those chemicals, plugins, all these chemicals, they're around, and it's absorbed into their body, and they get sick and kidney disease and all of this. And dogs, because they at least get to go outside more, and so they get some fresh air and clean that out. But they're in it too. We've got to stop it. And so that's what I'm talking about today. So my story allowed me, my girl, took one for the team, and to let me get this message out to you. So now, so that you know what can happen, you have to be conscious of everything. And so I'm so excited to be here today to be able to share with you. And we're going to be diving deep into some things that are super, super close to my heart and yours. It's our beloved pups and kitties, honestly, and kitties, and how we can give them the best and healthiest and longest life possible. That's the idea. Have you ever looked at your dog's food label and wondered what's really in it? What are these ingredients? The top 3, 4 ingredients, and then they're peppered through. But those are the main ones that your dog is eating. Those main things. Where do you buy the food at? You buy it in a grocery store, or do you buy it in a specialty pet store? That has something to do with it as well. Or maybe you're worried about the cleaning products that you're using around the house. Do you ever think about what you put on the floor, how it's affecting them, how it's affecting you? Both. It affects our hormones, affects theirs the same way. Could they be harming not just you, but your furries as well? And the answer is yes, they absolutely can. So in today's live, we're going to raise the bar on our pups' health and well-being in this most important topic, holistic, high vibe living. And that's the way they need to live, holistically and high vibe way, most possibly in all corners of the life. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get started. So I'm going to go over the 3 main things, 3 different things that are so key in caring for your pup. And those 3 are, number 1, your food, toxic ingredients in the dog food. This is what we're going to talk about first. So let's get right into it. Do you actually know, and I've got notes here, so you'll see me looking down because I want to make sure that I get everything to you possible. So do you know the most toxic ingredients that are sneaking into our food? Do you actually know what they are? There's a huge list, and I go into it more in my mini ebook, but I'm going to go over some today. And sadly, even popular Most well-known dog brands are loaded with chemicals that can harm your pup's health and your kitty's health in the long run. And these brands are so well known, and they do it, and they don't care, and they've been on recall and everything, and they just keep doing, they don't change it up. Even their so-called higher level brands, Purina is horrible, Pedigree is another horrible one, and Alpo, and all of these brands that you can buy in the stores really have inferior products. And even some of the better ones that you find um, in that even veterinarians recommend, they're still prepared the same way. They still have these ingredients. And there's ways that you can nourish your pup much more easily with simply just knowing these tips on what to look for in the food and how to avoid it. So we want to feed our food baby, our fur babies, the best, most amazing food that nourishes their body and keeps them vibrant and healthy for many, many years to come. You can hear one barking now. So let's get right into it. Number one, and it's usually at the top of the list, it's meat meal and meat byproduct. Now, these both are slightly different, and I'll go through each one of them. So byproduct includes anything from non-muscle meat parts like organs, bones, diseased tissue, roadkill, anything left over on the floor of the processing plant. All of this is in the food, and all of which has no nutritional value whatsoever. They just fill it in there. Okay, so it's got meat in it. Maybe. And then the second one is the meal. And the meal is made of rendered parts of the animals. It can include bone as well. It can include organs, even diseased and dead animals that are literally unfit for any human consumption or even animal consumption completely. The process even of rendering involves high heat, which destroys, if there was any nutrients in it, it destroys any evidence of that whatsoever, and leaving behind a very low quality, theoretically protein-rich powder that's used in most cheap dog foods, and it's on the label. And that high cooking temperature leads me into number two, and that is advanced glycation end products, and that are called AGEs, and it does exactly what it says, among other things. This is caused by cooking at high temperatures, and in cooking at high temperatures, you're cooking out all nutrients, and you're left behind these hard chunks. And these also they're a high carcinogen. So that cooking at high temperatures produces this, and it's a high known carcinogen. So causes cancer. And then number three are synthetic preservatives. And these synthetic preservatives, there's a few, but there's a couple that are specific. BHA, and BTA are these, and they extend the shelf life of the dog food, but at a cost. They are known to cause cancer and other serious illnesses. The secondary one is ethoxyquin. It's hard to pronounce. Ethoxyquin. And it's also found in pesticides, by the way, and it's been associated with liver and kidney damage. So these ingredients are in your dog's food. There's way more out there, and I have a list in my new ebook on wholesome food for your pup. So, but I'm going to go over these three again. So keep a lookout. They'll be in the top ingredients mostly. But listen, ACGs is not even listed on the label. They don't have to show it. It's what's caused when you cook the food that was food, all these ingredients at a high temperature, and it causes this automatically. So we're going to go over the three again. The three nasties that are in most grocery store brands and a lot of the other ones. So you kind of got to really look at those labels. Number one, meat meal and meat byproduct. Number two, advanced glycation end products, AGEs. And number three, synthetic preservatives. These things need to be completely out of your diet, nothing in it, not in yours either, because AGEs are also in human food as well. But look at the ingredients and look at these labels. It needs to be whole meat product. It has to be the number one source. It needs to be meat, no grains. It's just a filler. And again, most of the grains is corn based, and they're very much, they've been genetically modified. Say those out. So raw diets, there's a lot of brands out there that are very good for the food, very good for the dogs. And if this is something you want to learn more about, these brands and whatnot, then don't hesitate to message me food, and I will get that information right over to you. I'll email you or text you right back. So please don't hesitate. Now we're getting into the second thing that is extremely important in caring for your pup, and that is harmful chemicals in the home. You want it clean, and there's so many ways to clean, but it does not need to be at the cost of your pup's health and your health. So let's go over the top 3 toxins that's going to be in our home cleaning products as well. We're going to go over those also. So let's talk about the environment and give you just some ideas of how and why things are so toxic. Did you know that the very cleaning products that we use every day, it's affecting our cats, our dogs, and ourselves at a precedented rate. And over time, it builds up. Once or twice, not a problem. 3, 4 times, 6, 7, 10, 20, 30, 30 chemicals. The average human already comes in contact with over 300 and some chemicals, 386 chemicals every day. And all those chemicals are also around your pup. And they're a lot smaller, and they're not outside as much as we are. And all of that, just their body just takes it in and tries to figure out ways to get around it. But it can't. These chemicals get in the air. They also get in their fur. It gets in their paws. And even as they breathe, they're breathing it right into their lungs. These chemicals, they're not cleaning. Unfortunately, they're killing at a slow, painful rate. And there are options and solutions out there. And the good news is it's easy to switch. It's easy to switch to safe, non-toxic alternatives. It's easy to switch to plant-based alternatives and keep the house just as clean, actually cleaner, because there's no residue from it, and there's no risk to you or your pup. And the products that I specifically use actually boost the immune system at the same time. So not only are they killing everything and disinfecting everything, it smells amazing, and it's boosting your immune system at the same time. It's all about making these small shifts that make a big impact. So let's go over them right now. The top 3 toxics that are in your cleaning products. Number 1, phthalates. Phthalates is found in fragranced products. If it says fragrance on the back of it, it's a phthalate. Air fresheners, detergents are all have phthalates in them, and they can disrupt your hormones as well, yours and your pup's hormones as well, and have also been linked to reproductive issues in both pets and humans. So phthalates. Number 2, sodium lauryl sulfate. It is a cheap sudsing agent that is in anything foamy, from our shampoo, laundry soaps, dog products as well. So fragrance, which is the phthalates, and now sodium lauryl sulfate. This is common, as I said, commonly used in soaps and shampoos and laundry soaps. SLS is a skin irritant that can lead to massive allergies, dermatitis in both humans and dogs. It causes breathing issues and can cause even eczema and even worse. And it can burn the eyes and cause overextended use sometimes, depending on how sensitive one is. It can even cause blindness. There's so many things more. I did an entire series on this past summer in my reel. So that is a horrible thing. And it's in so many products. I just saw 7th generation. Guess what? It was in theirs as well. The so-called eco products are now moving into some of the cheap, because it's all about the money. It's It's all about the money. Keep that in mind. And number 3, chlorine. And that is everywhere in everything. Chlorides, bleach wipes, disinfectant wipes, you name it. It's bleach. And chlorine can irritate the respiratory system and the skin, and long-term exposure can even lead to thyroid issues and other health concerns as well in both you and your pup. So there are so many more that I can go into, and there's so many that's just been grandfathered in back in the 60s because they came in advance and there was never even any research done on them. But these 3 are in your shampoos, in your dog shampoos, in your soaps, your hand soaps, anything you're using on your animal. It's in your laundry soaps. It's in your cleaning products. It's in the floor cleaners. It's in all of these products and more. So look at the ingredients. And again, I have a cleaning sheet. Actually, it's an ebook that goes through a ton more and gives alternatives of things that you can actually utilize and use that are alternatives to these toxins. And so staying away from these are imperative if you want to have a long, healthy, happy life with your pup. So I'm going to go over the 3 one more time. Okay, the 3 toxics in your home cleaning products are phthalates, sodium lauryl sulfate, and chlorine. Stay away from them. And you will feel better, your pup will feel better, and you both will be able to live a long, vibrant life together. Now, if you want to get the full list of everything, comment clean below, and I will get you my ebook that has a whole bunch more to look for and ways, options to use, and ways to slowly switch everything out of your home and what to look for and where. All right. Now we're on to number 3. And this one is one of the easier things. It's just being present with your pup, actually, and paying attention. Yet it gets thrown by the wayside all the time. And so every pet parent needs to know that these 2 things are so important. These 2 key health checks need to be done regularly to keep your pup in tip-top shape, and it can also slow down the aging process. Pretty cool. These checks are game changers. And when you do these on a regular basis, you will be able to notice changes in your pup and be able to really change how their body mechanism and everything ages, which is something we want to do. We want long, healthy lives, no arthritis. We want to keep their teeth white and shiny white. They don't need to look yellow. They don't need to do this. So we're going to go over these exact 2 things. And these 2 important actions are nail trims. And nail trims actually can slow down and or prevent arthritis, any sort of bone and joint problems. When you let your dog's nails get long, keep in mind, you don't trim your toenails and your fingernails. What's going to happen? Are you going to be able to put your shoes on? It's going to be uncomfortable. If you let your toenails go for as long as you let your dog's nails go for, you wouldn't be able to get a pair of shoes on. And it looks bad, but not only, and that really doesn't matter, but it's uncomfortable. You can't walk. You start walking different. You start moving your hands different. As a human, we don't even walk on all fours. But a pup, when those nails get longer, it shifts how they walk. It's causing constant pain every time they put their nails down. It causes pain in those joints, in those paws. And it sends that pain up, and that nerve pain up into their paws and into their legs. And they start walking different. And then it causes spinal misalignment and spinal problems and accelerates aging, and it brings about arthritic conditions in their joints and bones. Hip display, all these things are caused by just poor mobility and poor movement. And over time, it gets worse and worse and worse. So keep those dogs' nails short. They need to be trimmed at a minimum once a month. at a minimum once a month. Keep them as short as possible. You shouldn't even hear them. That's how short they need to be. They just need to come over the edge because it protects, but they don't need to be even touching the ground. If they're clicking, you should never hear them. And number two, this is also equally as important in you, just like it is in them. Clean teeth. They need their teeth brushed regularly. You go to the dentist regularly to get checkups. They need to go in and get checkups as well. And the easiest way they can do this is you brush their teeth with a non-fluoride, organic, holistic toothpaste. Again, I had an amazing line I used with Thule, and she had perfectly white teeth till the day she transitioned. And I got her regular dental cleanings, non-aesthetic dental cleanings. I took her in every 6 months and had her teeth cleaned. And they looked at her teeth and they would give me a record of exactly what's going on in her mouth. And in doing so, I was able to pay attention to what I fed her. I had to quit giving her big bones because she had a couple cracks. To save those teeth, we went with different types of treats. And had I not got them done on a regular basis, all those would have cracked inside, and that causes infections. And it's a slow poison into the body, and it's weakening the immune system. So clean teeth at all times. You can brush them, even with your finger inside there and around their gums, but get a little bristles, even better, at least once a week. Ideally, regularly, but at minimum once a week, and get non-acidic dental cleanings every 6 months. Just like you do, they need them too. And these simple things are going to make you will notice changes in your animal. You will go to the vet less, and you and your pup will thrive and feel so much better. So I'm going to go over these again because as a whole, they're so important as well. These are key actions and key things that you need to look for that are a must when you are caring for a pup. You need to be consciously focused on what kind of food you're giving them. Is it healthy? Is it beneficial? Is it serving their nutrient needs, or is it cheap from the grocery store? Number two, you need to constantly be aware of what the environment holds. Are you using toxic cleaners? Are you using toxic products on your animal and around them? Perfumes, synthetics, all of this is bad. They breathe it in, it attracts into their fur, and they have fur all over their body. So it's constantly being absorbed into their bodies and into their paws. And number three, two actions are nail trims and regular nail trims and regular dental cleanings. These things, if you can just focus on these. Now, I've got a whole list of 12 that I did with Thule that changed my life and allowed her to live a much healthier, vibrant life all the way. And it was so important. These actions are going to make a difference every single day. And then if you want, I have a 12 tips to a high vibe dog that goes through not only these four, but these three, but also all the rest of the things that you need to be focused on as well. And when you do this on an ongoing basis, your pup will be healthier, you will be healthier, and you're going to have a much more healthier, vibrant life together, for sure. Now, I hope this gave you a better understanding of how powerful holistic care can be for your dog's well-being and for yours. You deserve peace of mind knowing that you're making the best possible choices for your fur babies. And that's exactly what this live gave you. So now, like as I said, if you want my checklist, I am doing a live event this weekend, and I have a workbook for that, for that class. But I'm happy to get that to you. But this is so important, and that's what this is all about. Now, I want to go over a couple things. So if you, as I said, I put this handy dandy booklet together for my workshop and a checklist also to help you choose safer, non-toxic, healthy food options and non-toxic products. You get a handy booklet for the healthy food and then a checklist on the safer products, then just drop a comment below and I will happily get this over to you. Being able to start living a more holistic life will make a difference and you will just feel better. So will your pup. And if you happen to be local in the Southern California area, I'm doing a live event in Long Beach, California on Sunday afternoon that you are invited to. So we're going to be diving even deeper into this. People are going to be bringing in their dog food and their cleaning products, and I'm going to show them exactly what to look for and how to transition things over cost effectively, one room at a time. So just comment workshop below and I will get you the information to my upcoming workshop on Sunday. And we'll have all the details and I'd love to see you there. So until next time, remember, keep raising those vibes and your pups every single day. And always remember to go out and create something magnificent for you and your pup. See you on the next live. Ciao for now. Bye.